What's good, everybody? It's Big Game James, man. I'm back in the building. You see the star in the back. You see the Cowboys right here. You know what's going down. We do the Cowboys all day, but it's summertime, man, and you know where it's time to do those good football interviews from these great high school athletes. I've been having a slew of great interviews with a lot of great players, and I got another one on board coming from the state of Illinois this time. It's my first Illinois, so I'm excited about this. And I got a defensive tackle, offensive guard, but I like him at the defensive tackle. But let me not talk too much. Let me him introduce himself to you. Give him a little background about yourself, Thomas, and let him know who you are before we jump into this interview.
Yeah, so I'm a 6'1", 300-pound defensive tackle and offensive guard. I go to Fenton High School. It's in Bentonville, Illinois. I play both sides of the ball. I start both ways. I'm a three-sport varsity athlete. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. Hey, them birds is happy back there, ain't they?
Yeah, they are.
So are those your birds or your family's?
No, I'm at the park right now.
Oh, okay,
I'm just
okay.
chilling right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, he's at the park. So we don't got the visual today. He's at the park having a little bit of issues, but we'll throw something up. But it don't matter. We're going to hear the voice, and we're going to be able to talk to Thomas and be able to have some good interviews. But let's get in the first question. First of all, congrats on being a top 30 in the state. And you're only going into your junior season, which is pretty awesome as a sophomore being a top 30. What are some of your goals that you kind of set for your season to make yourself even better and maybe rank a little bit higher coming into the year after?
This year, trying to be all conference for O-line or D-line. Hopefully going both ways. Trying to be an all conference player. Another goal that I have, it's kind of a team goal, but I want to make it to state, so at least win 5 or 6 games, which would be a pretty big jump from last year. One more goal that I have is just to maintain a good GPA, so I can hopefully play some college ball, which would be after my senior season. And also keep my body healthy, which I wasn't really doing that last season. I had a ankle injury, but yeah, that's about it.
Okay. I like those goals. Now, let me ask you this. You said you play offensive guard and defensive tackle. Talk about the differences on both sides of the ball from the offensive guard and break that down for us how you play, and then give us what the defensive tackle from your perspective.
Yeah, so I feel like as offensive guard, just from I feel like you have to be a lot more patient. You know what the play is, but you can't let the defense know what you're gonna do. So just from coming up to the line of scrimmage, you gotta get into a neutral stance and be ready for anything. And on the defensive side of the ball, it's kind of like you have to have that dog mentality in you. You have to be ready to fire off the ball, just hit someone and make a play, make a sack, make a tackle for loss.
Okay, I like that. Now, are you leaning on one position more than the other when it comes to potential colleges?
Right now I am leaning on offensive guard just because I have that weight. I don't really have that much height. I'm only about 6'1". When you look at most rosters, most linemen are 6'4", 6'3", 6'4". So yeah, I'm leaning on offensive guard just because of that weight. But I'm down to play anything. I'm just trying to play football after high school, so I'm willing to play anything.
I got you. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give you some positivity right here. Now, you say you're a little bit short, the defensive tackle. You know, Aaron Donald, one of the best ever to do it. You know, he ain't tall, right?
Yeah, it's not my height.
Yeah, he's your height. And then we just had a kid named Clancy that came out of Pittsburgh as well. And he was only about 6 foot as well. And he was an absolute animal. And they're talking about he could be the second coming. So don't let the height stop you. Obviously, we understand that you want to be a little bit taller at the defensive tackle position. But if you're almost 6'1" right now, and you still have 2 years, you can get by with it. So, don't just throw out the defensive tackle, because I was watching your reps at your camps, and I like you at the defensive tackle position. I'm a defensive guy, so I'm just saying, don't just throw out the defensive tackle. You know what I mean? So just keep your eye on that, because you could be able to play both ways. So let me ask you this, Thomas. You were invited and already competed at a few camps already. Like I said, I just seen you doing some of your good defensive reps, and you got a lot of invitations there. what's one impression that you want to leave on the coaches and even the players that you're competing against when you leave each one of those camps?
One impression I want to make on the coaches would probably be this kid's big, but he can move. Because a lot of people that come to these camps, they can't really move, or they're really big and they're stiff. So I'm trying to show coaches that I have that size, but also have that agility, so I can play any position on the line. And a mark that I want to leave on the players is that you don't want to play him because he will destroy you.
I love it. Got that dog mentality, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, and I was watching you at camps. Let me ask you this: does it feel good when you're going against upperclassmen?
Yeah, it does. So
Tell, tell
getting
me
moved
why.
up is because coaches, when they move you up, it's kind of like they know that you can compete with people that are older than you, that have more experience, and you're still able to beat them. So that just shows that you've been putting in more work than they have.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, does it get you excited when you're going against, let's say you're going into your junior season? Does it get you excited when you're going against those seniors and maybe those guys that might be a who's who? Let me ask you this, because I know how I was when I played. When there was upperclassmen or maybe guys that were like the talked about guys, I always wanted to go against them. I always wanted to compete against them. I never wanted to run against them. Even if they were going to get me, I wanted to let them know that when you go against me, you got a problem on your hands. How is that kind of your mentality, and talk about that for you?
Oh yeah, pretty much is. I don't really care who I go up against, even if they're really good. I try and go up against the good people, just
Hmm.
because I know that's what's gonna get me better, not going up against the people that I know I'm gonna win every one on one with. Trying to like go to these camps. I'm trying to get obviously I'm trying to get recognition from the coaches, but I'm also trying to get better for high school football. So I'm trying to make sure that I do go up against the people who are pretty good.
Nice, I like that. Now, when you got that ranked 30th in the state, did you get it as an offensive guard or defensive tackle or a dual position?
It was for just O line in general. They didn't
Okay,
pay. Yeah,
okay, okay. Now, do you take pride in playing on that O line, protecting your quarterback? Being a road grader for your running backs. Do you kind of take pride in
yeah, I do. I like pushing people around. It's pretty fun.
that? I like it. So, I just told you I'm a defensive guy. I coach defense. I play defense. So, I am interested on you on the defensive front. So I want to little talk to you about that. Do you consider when you're on the defensive line, obviously the zero and the one tech, usually in between the center and the guard. Then you got your three tech, who's more of the pass rushing defensive tackle. Where do you consider yourself in that kind of mix? Are you more of the run stopper taking over the center and the guard? Or are you a guy that can really rush the passer and put pressure on that quarterback and push the pocket?
In high school, we're not deep on D linemen. So
Mm-hmm.
for right now, I am in the three just because I'm the best option. But I
Mm-hmm.
feel like if I were to play in college football, I would be a zero and a one, just because I know I'm a lot better at just getting my hands on O linemen and getting physical and pushing and creating a new line of scrimmage a yard or two down.
Nice, nice, nice. Now, you mentioned that I seen on your Twitter as well. I will first let you know. I let all the kids know I'm not a stalker if I looked at your Twitter, so I don't think of that. But when I did look on your Twitter, it says that you throw the discus. Is that correct?
Yeah, dude. I was
Oh,
all conference this year.
okay. How long you been doing that?
I've been doing that since freshman year. I also do shop, but I'm a lot better at discus.
Okay. Now, what made you get into that? Was it football related that you wanted to add, or you just wanted to get into it to stay in shape? What's the reason why you kind of got into that?
So my freshman year after football, I did wrestling, and
Mm-hmm.
my old head coach, was kind of pushing me to do track too. So then for my freshman year, I did it. I just listened to him, and I kind of been committed to that also after that because it's pretty fun. It helps me with football. It helps me control my body, throwing. It helps me stay stronger. Our throws coach is also the strength coach for football too. So yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun.
Nice. Now, you said you mentioned some wrestling. Do you still wrestle?
Yeah, I still wrestle.
Nice. Now, how long have you been wrestling?
Since my freshman year also.
Okay. Now, did you get? Now, you mentioned your coach. Was it wrestling and you wanted to improve on your football? Is that the reason why you got into wrestling? Talk about us why you got into wrestling.
Yeah, I got into wrestling because the wrestling head coach, he came up to me in a class and he told me about how it would help me with football.
Yes.
So I decided to go and try it out. And I was pretty much the varsity starter since my freshman year, so I was the only heavyweight. So I decided to stick with it, even though my freshman year I only won one varsity match, and this year I went about 14-13, and I won 2-2 in sectionals. So I'm hoping next year I can make it to state in wrestling.
Nice. Now, first of all, let me give a shout out to your wrestling coach because he wasn't lying to you when he told you it's going to help you in football. I've interviewed plenty of kids, and the kids that I have interviewed in wrestling. Actually, I interviewed Jacob Slack. He's a linebacker, and he got into wrestling. But most of the guys I interview that are wrestling are defense on the defensive line, and it does really help you with the hand fighting, conditioning, things of that nature. So just you throwing the shot, just you throwing the discus, and just you wrestling, how do you feel like it's really helped you on the field? Have you seen the translation? Have you seen the transition? And have you seen it be able to give you an edge of across the board against the other players?
Yeah, I have much more violent hands now just from wrestling. I can also stay a lot lower than I used to, especially from wrestling, taking shots and staying low. I
Hmm.
have I'm definitely more mentally tough after conditioning
Yeah.
for pretty much a whole year from football to wrestling to track. And yeah, also just yeah, that's
Nice.
about it, but it's helped me a lot. Specifically on the D line, my
Hmm.
hands and everything and
Hmm.
body control.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's helped a lot.
I liked hearing that. Now, let me ask you this. Is that an option for you in college? Let's say you get the scholarship into football, right? And either a school is recruiting you in wrestling and or track. Is that something that you would want to do in college? Would you want to be a dual athlete or would you specifically want to concentrate on football?
Right now, I would just prefer to concentrate on football because the whole reason I do these sports is to help me out with football. So, yeah, everything I really do is about football from lifting to other sports. I just love the sport, so I'm trying to maintain it as long as possible.
I love first of all, I love the heart and desire. You're doing all this for football, so it sounds like you really invested in this. How long you been playing the sport, if I can ask that?
Yeah, I didn't start until high school. I wish I started earlier, but
Right.
I didn't know there was stuff for like Pee Wee stuff. So yeah, I didn't start up until high school, and
Okay.
I just fell in love with it. Especially once I got moved up to varsity. We weren't really good my freshman year.
Hmm.
Just being out on the field on Friday night lights,
Yeah.
that was just different.
Yeah. Definitely. I know it's different. You get them chills, don't you?
Yeah, get the adrenaline rush. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, you ain't lying about that. Now, let me tell you something. You must be an absolute dog, bro. If you came in playing in high school, you didn't play any pee wee, you didn't play any youth football, and you came in as a freshman, you already was a sophomore and one of the top ranked players in the state already, and you never played. That means then that tells me, yeah, you got a future in college football. So you make sure you keep honing on that. So I always ask the young men that I have on here. Obviously, you sound very motivated. You play three sports, you're going hard with your books, things of that nature. We're gonna ask about that. But who kind of motivates you outside of yourself, Thomas? Who kind of motivates you to maybe when you're tired, don't want to do it, maybe when you want to feel like I don't want to work today? Who else motivates Thomas to get up and be the best that he can be?
There's not much that motivates me apart from myself. Just because I know that in the long term, when it's Friday and we play a game, I'm gonna be ready, and other people are not, and I'm gonna go and dog on some people. So that's really what motivates me. Just waiting for Friday night lights so I can go dominate. There's not much else that motivates me apart from that. Just there's
Okay.
9 guaranteed games in a year.
Yeah.
It all builds up to that.
So you would say, are you? Can you say you're a football junkie?
Yeah, I am. I'd say so.
So, let's talk about your school. You were talking about your grades and how you said you wanted to stay on them. Um, Obviously, whenever you're going to school, there's going to be a major you want to major in, things that you may want to do outside of football. Have you thought about that as far as a career outside of football?
Oh yeah. I guess a part of it would depend on what school I'm going to play football in. But
Hmm.
right now, I'm kind of leaning towards something business related when I go.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Now, okay. Now, do you want? Are you an in-state kid? There's a lot of schools out there in Illinois. A lot of schools, small schools, big schools, a lot of schools. Or are you a type of kid that, hey, it doesn't matter where I go, as long as it's a good fit for me, I don't care.
yeah, it doesn't really matter where I go. I mean, obviously, I have a few places that if they would offer me, I really want to go there. Like few places that I would honestly think I would commit to really fast.
Hmm.
But apart from that, I'm just trying to play football after high school. So
Okay,
whoever offers me, I'll take it.
okay. Do you have? Can we the people know what schools that you really like and would be top on your list and would sign instantly too?
Uh, Illinois State is one of them. Another one would be Vapo, that's in Indiana. I also really like Robert Morris. I've had a lot of attention from Valpo and Robert Morris, so that's kind of they've they've climbed up on my list. Those would be like my top three schools they were to offer me.
Okay, and you know what? I did see Valpo invited you to the camp, didn't they?
Yeah, I went to their junior day and I'm going to their camp tomorrow.
Okay, so you went there on. You've already been there before.
Yeah, I've been there once at
How was
their
it?
junior day. It was good. They took us on a tour on their facilities, and I really liked the place. Uh, I like their weight room too, and I talked to some of their players. They're also planning on expanding their facilities, like their field and stuff.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm excited to see what happens with that.
I'm excited too. I definitely think you can make it happen over there. So we're definitely, especially you got 2 years left, and you've already been to the camp, and you're going back there tomorrow, correct?
Yeah,
Well, hey, I know one thing. We hope you turn up because we would love to see you get to a scholarship to your dream school. Now, obviously, you're talking about academics, you're talking about business and things of that nature, and we're excited to hear about that. Any few shout outs that you want to give to anybody as before we close kind of the interview today?
uh, probably my friend Xavier. He's the one who put me on with you to follow you in the first place.
Nice.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
let me give a shout out to Xavier too. Hey, appreciate you, big dog. We're gonna have Thomas on here, and we're gonna have this awesome interview. So I appreciate him for throwing me out there because we love getting you guys getting noticed more than anything. That's the why we do this. Now, I also want to tell you, Thomas, I seen on your last video that you were doing your one-on-ones against a few people. If you could do a favor for me and continue to post those videos, because what we do is during the season I make comprehensive videos of all the players that I've interviewed and any highlights that you can get me, whether it's camps, whether it's in the season. I'll post those. I tag recruiting publication services so people can continue to know about you. I know a lot of coaches. I know a lot of recruiting services. So the biggest thing we want to do is to get your name out there. So the more video that you can get on your page, the better it is because I can break those videos down and post those on my YouTube, my Facebook, and my Twitter, so more people can continue to see. So if you can do that for me, that'd be awesome. Okay.
yeah. I'm already planning on posting as much as I can from film to the season and at any camps that I have them recorded.
Nice, nice. Well, number one, get ready for that Valpo camp. We're excited to hear about it, and we want to definitely see how you did. Because, like I said, the three schools that you named, I definitely feel like you can make it happen up there, but especially with these last 2 years with the position you play, and we're going to be playing blessings on you. Now, is there any shout outs or any last words you want to give before we end the interview?
No, not really. Thank you for your time though and for the interview.
Hey, I appreciate you. And like I said, we're all about trying to get you scholarship, get you noticed, and get you more exposure for what you're trying to do. So thank you for taking out your time of your busy day. Once again, go out there and kill it at Valpo. We'll be keeping tabs with you. And one other thing, If we can get another interview, I always interview the young men during the season, one time during the season, so we can kind of get a gauge on how you're doing as a player and see how your team is doing in the season. If we could get that, that'd be awesome for me as well.
Yeah, I'd be down for that. Probably week 4, 5-ish, somewhere in the middle.
Okay, that'll definitely work. Well, hey, from myself and Mr. Thomas, is it close?
Klos.
Klos. That's what I thought. I was like, I know it's a. So from myself, Big Game James and Mr. Thomas Klos at the state of Illinois, not Indiana, Illinois. Make sure you check him out because this kid has a lot of going for him. He still has 2 years left, and he's about to kill it out there in them streets. So from myself, Big Game James and Mr. Thomas, we'll be talking to you soon.